My name is Brett Shofner, as Alex said, and today this session is really about you guys. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to go over today is giving you some ideas on how you might be able to be more successful. And hopefully that will apply to you as individuals, because I realize that a lot of you guys are here as individuals, but then many of you probably sit on investment committees, as officers at the companies where you work, and typically that's what I do for a living. We try to provide a framework for the companies that hire us and give that employer good fiduciary protection, help them put together the correct investment lineup. The key thing about American portfolios that makes it a little bit different than your Merrill Lynch's or Morgan Stanley's is that the company was founded on the principle of being completely independent. We try to bring in employees because that's also a very important part of the benefit program, right? Obviously, it's created not just for the employer, but for the employees. You want them to have success. You want to be able to bring talent into your company. And if you have a good retirement plan, that becomes a lot easier to do, right? We try to help actually with our clients in terms of their company profitability. As a consultant, I could just come in, whatever, set up your 401k plan, call it a day, get you from A to B. We try to go several steps beyond that and really get to know your culture. Just to give you one example, you've probably seen the commercial, ING, it's very famous with people carrying around a number, right? And then, the whole tagline, what is your number? Let's figure out your number. Well, I never really got that commercial because if I told you, let's figure out your number, right? And we determined that your number is 1.7 million, let's just say. Okay, so I write you a check for 1.7 million. Boom, you're retired. First of all, that check will probably bounce. Literally, what would you do with that money? Okay, so now you're retired. It's now, Wednesday. And do you just start pulling money out from that 1.7? Do you invest it in the market? Do you put it in, what the heck do you do with it? I think a better way is to teach people, and in your own strategies, let's figure out what income level you want when you get to retirement. Let's really try to figure out how much income you need. Because something that I've discovered after just doing this, helping thousands of people over the years, a lot of times you don't even have to take a lot of risk with the investing to get you where you need to be. And that's really what I do for a living, is to try to help people get to that point. So getting more specifically as to how people are struggling to get to where they need to be in terms of getting to retirement, kite, that we're going to talk about. And the first piece is knowledge. And knowledge is something that, just to give you an example, it's like, I know when I go to get my car fixed, which is whatever, every couple times a year, when I go in there and talk to the mechanic, I basically pretend like I know what he's talking about. I pretty much have no idea. Our industry has done a poor job of making people feel like they need to be experts. A bond is you're basically just lending money. It's an IOU, and a stock is just a piece of ownership. I don't like volatility. I don't like to see my balance move up and down. I don't want a lot of stocks. And I learned over the years that it's okay. So now when I sit down with a young person, it's more helping them figure out about volatility, because some people, even if they're young, they're conservative. And guess what? That's okay. In investing, unfortunately, you tend to look back and see what did well the past 10 years or the past 20 years, and then you think that that's going to happen again, and it rarely does. The trick is more about where are the opportunities going to be? Where are they going to come from in the next 10 or 20 years? There are very different places now where the opportunities are. It's not all about the U.S., and even within the U.S., there are different sectors that are more attractive than others. Which sector they think is going to grow the most over the next 20 or 30 years? In America? Okay. Very good. Is that the same guy? New guy? Got a lot of smart people here. No, but it's healthcare. And, we're going to get into why it's such a good opportunity, but it definitely is. It leads into time, okay, the T in kite. You want to spend time with your kids, your grandchildren. This is what I see out there from clients. E is the emotional fortitude. The average investor, translation, is just getting smoked. They're not doing well. And that's why we're here talking about this stuff, is to help you not be one of those people. People are running scared. It's the emotions that get involved. It clouds your judgment. And I've seen it a million times. trying to time the market just doesn't work. So you want to get away from that. That's why people are averaging, significantly less than what they should be. This is a nice little chart that talks about how people spend money as they progress through their life. No surprise, when you're young, before you get to the 20s there, you basically don't have any money. And even when you're getting married and going through your 20s, you don't have a lot of money. And then you get into really the key channel there, which is the mid-40s. If you start having kids, you need a bigger car, you need a bigger house, you're going to save for their college education, you're buying them clothes and iPads and cell phones and so forth. That is a key channel because when you look at economies, if you have a whole bunch of people that are in that pocket, there's going to be a lot of spending going on. And when there's a lot of spending, that's what makes economies move upward and grow. And that creates a lot of good investment opportunities. So we need to be looking out there, where can we find economies that have these characteristics? Let's compare the US to Brazil. So here's a chart that shows, this is the percentage of the population, so between 0 and 4 years old in Brazil, 7.8% of the population is in that channel. And then at the other end of the spectrum, only 4.5% of their people are over 70. So that's pretty small. All these people right before that key pocket, that key channel, that we know causes growth, causes stock markets to go up, all the good stuff.